Your phone buzzes on the table. The screen lights up with an incoming call. Instantly, your heart rate spikes. A sense of dread washes over you, and your hand hovers over the screen, entirely paralyzed by the sudden demand for your attention. Instead of answering, you watch it ring out in silence. You wait exactly 2 seconds, open your messages, and fire off a text. "Hey, what's up?" Alexander Graham Bell's invention was engineered to close the distance between human beings. For over a century, hearing a voice across miles of wire was considered the ultimate conduit for connection. Yet today, millions of us actively avoid the primary function of the device in our pockets. We let the calls drop to voicemail, favoring the silent, calculated tapping of a digital keyboard. While the death of the phone call is often dismissed as a generational quirk or a decline in social skills, the shift represents a physiological recalculation of how our brains manage vulnerability and risk. MIT professor Sherry Turkle frames this shift by dividing human connection into 2 distinct categories: spontaneous intimacy and considered intimacy. A phone call forces you into the spontaneous. It demands instant processing. You cannot hide an awkward pause, a crack in your voice, or a delayed reaction. The vulnerability is entirely exposed in real time. Texting provides the safety of the considered. Because it happens on a delay, the pressure of an immediate response vanishes. You have time to construct exactly what you want to project. The physical evolution of our devices mirrors this retreat. We moved from heavy bricks tethered to the wall, meant solely for conversation, to silent panes of glass designed for typing. The backspace key is a psychological shield. The ability to delete and edit our words before we hit send grants us total control over our emotional output and our perceived identity. Typing is a highly engineered defense mechanism. It protects us against the raw unpredictability of human reaction. Beyond the emotional risk, sustaining a real-time conversation exacts a measurable physical toll on the brain. This diagram illustrates the cognitive load of a voice call. To successfully speak on the phone, your brain must simultaneously process vocal tone, decipher long silences, and artificially perform enthusiasm to show you are still listening. A 2024 study by Dr. Didia measures how this demand affects introverted individuals. The data shows that under the pressure of real-time social processing, introverts deplete their cognitive reserves at a significantly higher rate than extroverts. Similarly, a 2021 study by Howard and Sedgwick observed this exhaustion within the autism community. They tracked the effort required for masking, the active, high-friction labor of managing vocal tone to appear neurotypical. The text message bypasses this entirely, offering a smooth, low-friction flow of information. Over the last 2 decades, younger generations and broader social groups recognize the efficiency of this model, organically adopting asynchronous typing as the new baseline standard for interaction. For millions of people, avoiding a phone call is an accessibility need. The text message allows vulnerable populations to socialize and maintain relationships without burning through their cognitive reserves. If texting is an efficient adaptation for saving energy and avoiding social stress, it leaves a glaring paradox. Modern metrics for human loneliness are climbing. Behavioral scientists Amit Kumar and Nicholas Epley exposed a systemic blind spot in human cognition regarding this exact choice in a 2020 study. This dual bar chart contrasts our expectations against reality. When asked to predict how awkward a phone call will be, the human brain registers a massive spike in anticipated discomfort, but the actual awkwardness experienced during the call remains at a minimal baseline. And this new overlay reveals the other side of the equation. We drastically underestimate the psychological reward of a call. Predicted satisfaction is low, while the actual measurable satisfaction of hearing another person's voice yields a massive spike. Our decision-making is flawed. The human brain prioritizes immediate psychological safety, urging us to send a text to avoid momentary discomfort. In doing so, it blinds us to the long-term emotional reward of genuine connection. The silent keyboard remains a vital tool for navigating a loud, demanding world, especially for those who require cognitive protection. The challenge is learning to recognize the difference within yourself. Are you using a text message as an accessibility tool, or are you using it as a shield to hide from intimacy? The screen protects us from vulnerability, but achieving deep human connection ultimately demands that we surrender the backspace key and risk the messy, unedited reality of the human voice.